What's good, YouTube? We back for another video, man. Before I get into it, I hope you guys have been locked in and taking care of yourselves, right? Let's get right into it, man. So, staying locked in is hard, okay? We got so many distractions around us. We have everything in this world is literally meant to keep us off track, social media, bad vices, distractions, so many things are there to keep you stuck, to keep you from reaching your true potential, right? And that's something I've realized, because it's like, as somebody that wants to lock in and become successful, why does it seem so hard? Because it's what I want to do, but I'm always getting like distracted. I'm always getting like, what I mean? And I know I'm not the only one, right? So what I've realized is that the only way you can lock in and become successful is if you force yourself to lock in and become successful, okay? You kind of have to put yourself in a position to where you don't really have much of a choice. And what do I mean by that? I mean, like, you have to put certain systems in place to keep you locked in, okay? To keep you from, failing over and over and over, okay? So what I just did recently, right, is I downloaded this app. And I don't know why I never thought about this. I never thought about doing this in the first place, because this could have helped me a long time ago. But what I've realized is that I downloaded this app, and this app is basically like an app blocker, okay? It basically blocks certain apps, and blocks certain things on my phone to keep me from going on it, like social media, for example, right? Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, because even YouTube, right? Because I've realized that, okay, I can lock in, because I'm somebody that I can reevaluate myself. Like, I can see, like, okay, what I'm doing wrong and what I'm doing right. And one thing I'm realizing is that the reason why I'm having trouble locking in is simply because I get easily distracted on my phone, okay? Now, what do I mean by that? So, obviously, I'm somebody that is posting on social media, right? I haven't been posting in a minute, but I do have to get on social media to post, right? But the problem with that is that there will be days where if I get on social media to post, I end up getting carried away by what I see, and I end up getting distracted. And because of that, I go from posting on there to just doom scrolling, okay? And I always struggle with that, because I'm trying to figure out, how can I post on social media without letting it consume me and letting it become a distraction? I want to be able to just post and then get off, okay? But usually what happens with me is that I post and then I stay on there and I don't even realize it, right? Because while I'm waiting, it's like, okay, I'm just gonna, what I mean? But I've actually found the perfect solution for that problem, okay? Now, this is regarding me, okay? I'm pretty sure majority of people on social media are watching my video, right? Majority of people, unless you're trying to be a content creator or you're trying to build a brand or something, and you don't really post on social media, all you got to do is just delete the apps and never download them. You know what I mean? But I used to do that before. Like last year, I actually went a whole month without social media and without TikTok and Instagram, and it was easy because at the same time, the only social media platform that I had was YouTube. But I really get on YouTube just to post, but Instagram, TikTok, I was off that bitch for like, for a whole month. And that's because I wasn't posting on there. But see, the thing is that what changed is that now I'm posting on there because I'm trying to get myself out there more. So I'm trying to post on all platforms, you feel me? So I ended up finding this app yesterday, okay? And this app is actually really good, okay? So what it does is you can set it up to where you're only on the app for a certain amount of time. And on top of that, you only have a certain amount of time that to be on the app or to get on the app. Okay, so for example, right, I set it for 5 minutes. Okay, because I don't need to be on social media no longer than 5 minutes. Okay, Instagram, TikTok, and that's just the post. Like, and that helps me because I'm only on TikTok and Instagram just to post. I'm not on there doom scrolling or nothing else. I'm only on there to post. Okay, but it's so easy for me to get carried away. So what I ended up doing is I ended up setting it up to where it's like, okay, when I get on there, it starts a 5-minute countdown. Okay, so meaning that I only have 5 minutes until it's gonna kick me off. And it's an app, so you know how on your iPhone, right, you know, you can set it up kind of like that, but you can ignore the limit, which I don't like that because I set that up, but I just ignore that bitch. It's like, what the fuck? But this app, you can't ignore the limit. After the 5 minutes is up, it closes you out the app for good. So it keeps you from doom scrolling, right? And shit like that and getting distracted, which is what I want. So I set it up that way. And on top of that, I only set it up to where I can get on the app twice. So technically, if I close out the app, I can only get on there one more time. And then that's it. After that, I can't get on there until a certain amount of time. See, I really like this app because I have it set up perfectly, right? And this is gonna help me with my social media problem, right? You know what I mean? Because I've realized, I'm like, okay, that's the problem. Okay, so I was trying to figure out, okay, I need to figure out a way to fix this, because somebody that posts on social media, right? Because I have to get on there to post, but I don't want to get on there and post and then get carried away and start doom scrolling. No, you know what I mean? So that's what I really like about it. And I have it hit, you know, and you can hide apps as well, or, you know, you can hide certain things and everything. I really like it. But basically, I had to put this system in place to keep me from getting distracted off of social media, because in reality, I have no reason to be on Instagram or TikTok outside of posting. Okay, like I have no reason to be on there. Same with YouTube, honestly. You know, no, I really don't need to be on social media outside of just posting. So to keep myself from doom scrolling and getting distracted, I downloaded this app, and I really fuck with it. You know, it's working very well for me. You know what I mean? And yesterday, I ain't gonna say yesterday, but today, it actually worked in my favor, because, you know, usually the first thing when I get up, you know, I get on social media or whatever like that. I couldn't even do that. It wouldn't even let me. And no matter what I tried to do, it wouldn't let me. I couldn't bypass it or nothing. You know what I mean? So I'm proud. I'm glad that I found this app, and I feel like this app is going to help me. You know what I mean? But I'm saying all this to say this, man. You have to, when it comes to being locked in, you have to have certain systems in place. Okay, you have to kind of force yourself to be locked in. Okay, it's not gonna just come out of thin air. Okay, it's just like with your diet, man. You know, a lot of people, when it comes to their diet, like let's say you're on the big side, right? You know, you have trouble eating, right? You have to set certain systems in place to keep you from eating that bullshit food, because as long as it's there, you can't rely on willpower. See, that's the problem. We tend to rely on willpower to get us through. Like, you know, when it comes to wanting to masturbate, we try to have or not watch, you know, porn. We try to rely on willpower and be like, no, you know, we're just not gonna do it. It doesn't work. Okay, you know, you can't rely on willpower. You have to be put in a position to where even it, you know, you can't really do it. You don't really have much of a choice, right? Like, even if you want to, you can't do it. So even if you feel like doing it, it's not possible. Okay, because willpower is only going to get you so far, but eventually you're going to have those urges to where you want to relapse, or you want that dopamine spike, or them urges to get on Instagram or TikTok. You're going to have them urges, and sometimes them urges are going to be stronger than your will. Okay, so relying on willpower is not always going to work, and I know this from personal experience, right? You know, willpower is okay for a while, but eventually your urge is going to be stronger. So you have to make sure that you put yourself in a position to where even if your urge is stronger, that doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, no matter what you do, you can't relapse. It's not possible. You know what I mean? So that's what the app is for me. Okay. And that's why I feel like, you know, when it comes to everybody, if you're trying to lock in, you have to put certain systems in place. First,